Hey everyone, this is Adam Yurchick, one of the coaches in the MTG INSIDER group. This is my first video for the group, and this might be one of the first videos you're seeing in the group. And I wanted to introduce a process that I have been using in my previous experience coaching and have found it to be really beneficial and really some of the best way to spend your time when it comes to studying Magic and looking to improve beyond just playing, beyond reading, beyond watching other people stream or play. There's a real value in the introspection of looking at your own games to see what you did, why you did it, from a different perspective. And some things just become obvious, just things become clear, and it just gives you a more 360 view of the game and yourself, and it's a way to just kind of remove the immediate pressure and the time constraints and the nerves and everything else that goes into when you're actually in a game, and you can kind of take a more rational, sort of unemotional approach where you're not actually playing anymore, and you just get to see everything through a different lens. And it can be painful at times because you're going to see mistakes that you make, and it's hard. I mean, like I'm saying this, but it's hard even for me to sometimes to replay a game, especially if it's something that you lost, because sometimes there's mistakes. Just, oh, look at this. Like, it's so obvious that if I would have just done this, this would have been a completely different game, or I would have won this game. Sometimes you see obvious things. Sometimes it's a really deep analysis and you realize, okay, this was the right play because of this, or, oh no, there was a better play. If I would have saw this, I would have realized it was a little bit better because it played around this other card, or it gave me another out, or whatever. It just is what it is. It's just a whole different thing. I mean, you basically are just playing the game again. It's a great resource. So Magic Online lets you actually just watch your replays. If you're playing on Magic Arena, which a lot of Magic is, and a lot of this group and just a lot of players in Magic are playing on Arena. For Arena, it's slightly more difficult because you're going to have to record it with other software, which is pretty simple. I think some Windows, you can it's just inherent in Windows itself. You can record your screen, and there's some cheap programs, or free programs rather, that can do it for you. So I'll share some of those if you're looking for a way to record. I will do some on Arena as well. But so before I go over some games of a sealed deck tournament I played, I wanted to look at the deck itself. So here's a deck list, which Magic Online saves. For Magic Arena, again, you need to take a screenshot of your sealed deck or record the build. But that's pretty simple. One extra step for big benefits. So here was my sealed deck, and as you see, I have Byleth, which is one of the biggest bombs in the format. I mean, there's few cards I can't really think of a card I'd rather cast more. Really, like, it's just one of the biggest bombs. It's a threat. It makes a ton of tokens, which just stabilize any board. And this is awesome. So like, having this made me really want to just play red-green. And another rare here in green. So, and it worked out because I had a lot of red and green cards, and I was able to put together a pretty solid deck here with an aggressive curve, filled up the curve. And to make the curve work, I played 2 Expedition Champions, which have a warrior synergy, along with Marausive Brute as a warrior, and then these 2-drop warriors, and the champions were strong, Scourge Rider as well. I got some insight on the sealed format by seeing some people post, or someone post their result in a Mox online event last week, a major online event, and she went 8-0 undefeated in the Swiss with a red-white aggro deck, and it just had like 7 or 8. I should honestly find the list. It had like 7 or 8. I don't know who it was though. 7 or 8 2-drops. Like, it looked like a ton of 2-drops. It's really aggressive, and it was just like kind of like a draft deck. And it just made me realize that I think 2-drops and just having that low curve is really important, and that's like one of the best ways to win in the format. I remember the original Zendikar was really aggressive. Like, it was the most aggressive limited ever. I'm starting to think this one maybe is more aggressive than I gave it credit for. Because then before that experience, the reason that was so an aha moment, because that reinforced my idea that I had previously in other events, which I guess I could actually replay those games too, where I had a lot of 2-drops in. So this is a black-green deck. Again, Phylath. And it was 2-drop heavy. 2 Gnarled Colonies, Skyclave Shave, Mospit Skeleton, Vine Gecko. So a nice 2-drops. Also even a 1-drop. And some 3-drops as well. And it was just nice aggressive, and just having the early curve wins. And that's how I've lost a lot of games with good decks, early curves. So just playing a lot of 2-drops and the ability to be aggressive. This deck is cool too. I guess I'll go over this one while I'm here. So this one I realized, so Vine Gecko is quietly awesome. I didn't realize I had so much synergy. I had the skeleton, I have the shade, I have the colonies, and reclaim. Like, at first I was like, oh, black green, like maybe this guy just play it just so it draws removal or something, but it turns out it's actually just incredible. And then, so it seems like in a lot of these sealed decks, there's like a key thing you have to realize. Like, for that last red-green deck, it was the Warriors. Like, so it's like, yeah, I don't want to be a warrior deck, but like, it turns out that if I embrace these warriors, that's what lets me play. That's what fills out my curve, and like what lets me have a coherent deck. And here I realize these constrictors, just having Constrictor and Mucklord, these were just what I needed. These constrictors having a menace aggressive creature after these, and then having some +1/+1 synergy, which I actually had, again, quite a lot of all these kicker creatures also have +1 synergy. So does Gecko. So these constrictors did solid work. I did sideboard 1 out quite often, but nice game 1 aggressive plan. Mucklord, Sightcat, it just coherent, right? Like, it's not anything particularly powerful, but it just has some sort of coherency to it. Like, it doesn't rely on synergy, but it has the synergy. And so this worked out awesome. This actually went 5-0 or 4-0. This was in a preliminary. Could splash Phylath off of the Reclaim. And then I played Regrowth, which is a card I don't really like. But it was when you have a card as good as Phylath and you want 3 sources for a splash, typically, that's reliable. So the Mountain and the Reclaim is just 2, so this gives me the 3rd source. It also ramps into it, It rams from 3 mana to 5, and I thought that was nice with my 2 Gnarlid colonies and the Mospit skeleton both being pseudo 5-drops. And this just, I just aggroed people out, used some removal, and then a nice breakthrough for this deck was the Cliffhaven. I just had a feeling that with so many ground creatures and with really so little removal, right? Like this deck only has Deadly Alliance, Subtle Strike, Vanquish, and then I have Thwart and Mind Drain for different kind of, for like some sort of card advantage grind, but like removal, not anything. So I had to just force my way through, and the Kite Sail helped that a lot. And it also worked against flyers sort of defensively. This card is just an overperformer. I figure anytime you have 2-drops, like these are good at starting aggression, but then they can fall off. If you have something like the Kite Sail, the opponent's in a bad spot, and like put it on a shade. That didn't come up for me, but like that's a pretty nasty threat to have to deal with, especially when it comes back as a 5 power. Like, what are you gonna do to stop that? With a 5/3 that comes back, 5/3 flyer that comes back every turn. Like that can't be stonewalled by, well, like a big ground creature. There just aren't big flyers that can handle that. So this worked out awesome. Yeah, I obviously cast Phylath a bunch, and Thwart was good. What didn't I play? So here you see Black just didn't have options. This Oblivion Hunger I was super close to playing. But that's like a little too, I thought it was a little too much, and just didn't bring it in, didn't feel like I needed it. This Nectar Pot, right. So I found that I wanted to be more defensive at some times, because like the Kite Sail kind of lets me grind. I have kind of a good long game with like the Skeleton and the Shade, and then Thwart, and then of course Phylath, right? If I can survive to 6. So I believe I cut a Constrictor for Nectar Pot often, and I brought in Snarecaster sometimes as well. So here's a deck where I didn't want, you notice I didn't play 2 Regrowth, just want 1 because I only needed 1 fixing. And didn't play Brute here, because like here I don't have any Warrior synergy, and I thought the Constrictor and the Mucklord were better than Brute. You know, it's honestly could be debatable. Like I think this Brute's pretty good. I've always thought it was probably pretty decent, and it's felt good on both sides of the table. So it's possible that it's just better. And then here's a deck I didn't play, Broken Wings main deck. And I'm not really sure why not, because I think it's pretty main deckable. I guess I just thought I had enough removal. So I really don't. I just wanted more threats, maybe with Kite Sail having a creature density. Honestly, I don't know. It's a card that's pretty solid to main deck. But I guess for me, maybe if I'm not grasping for playables, I don't necessarily want it. I guess this deck had enough quality to not need it, but would have been reasonable. So then back to this other sealed. So I had the aggression. Figured out the champion, playing the Warriors. I could have went more Warriors with the second Rider over Lagak, but I kind of like having more toughness. And the landfall was good sometimes. Champions don't really need that much support. And it's pretty, and I also like, the thing is, it's a reasonable card as a 2/3. And this played out fine. I went 6/3. I think I probably could have played better maybe in the second loss. Like I picked up the loss pretty early. Actually, maybe I think there was a. Oh, we're gonna watch the replay. I think there was a game where like I like traded 2 damage for 2 damage as the aggressor, but then like realized I needed to be the defensive for Phylath, and I lost like at 0 life. Or if I would have just not traded that 2 damage, I would have stabilized with Phylath and more. So that's brutal. Yeah, that's a good one to watch. So breakthrough here, I realized that. So this was like an obvious Broken Wings deck. It kind of came down to just needing to fill in playables for Phylath. Like pool was not fantastic, but I had a Phylath, and I had enough to make it work. If I not really stretched, like I guess it's not like an ideal seal deck, but like saying, okay, I'm going to play Teeter Creek Ambusher. Like, okay, I'm going to play the Broken Wings. That's going to give me a good playable. And then, like, the last card was a Sizzling Barrage. Because if you look, this deck just doesn't have removal. 2 Spellcraft. No removal. It's aggressive. It has to push in. So this Barrage is just, you know, a lot of times it's going to be 2 mana removal. And if you pair it with a Trampler, which I have a few of, Catcher, Elemental, Cat, then they even take damage. So it's really is like removal there. And again, Kite Sail critical, 17 creatures, low removal, Ground Pounders. Kite Sail obviously just was huge for me. Critical to a lot of games. Had a game where they had a Kite Sail and it was like battle with the Kite Sail. Would have easily lost without it. I want to say like there's some game I played recently where they had a Kite Sail and a creature, and it was like their only creature, and they had no hand, but like I knew that I had to just take the Kite Sail or every creature for the rest of the game. It was going to be like a lethal threat. Sided in Electromancer often, I think. But yeah, straightforward. So anyway, not to waste too much time looking at the builds. Really, that is a nice thing to do, but it's about the games. So let's watch some games. This is a PTQ, and this is a high stakes. Oh, whoa, what is this? Did I have another event where I went 03? Oh, right. I have an even more recent event where I went 03. I hope that deck is here. I don't see it. And that's like where I think I just missed the build, the correct build. Huh. Where is it? Well, maybe it's around. Huh. Anyway. Oh, this was another cool one. This is from the same day as the black green one. And this one I thought was going to be pretty strong. It ended up, I think, only going 2-2. Anyway. All right, so really just it's a matter of just going turn through turn, play by play, and just seeing. So like the first thing is looking at the hands. Mulligan decisions. That's like honestly the most valuable thing of the replays is to start. Even if you don't want to go through the trouble of replays, just reviewing your mulligans, even that. Because like you see so often in the moment where you're like, oh, I don't want them all, I'll keep. But then you go back and you're like, holy crap, why did I not mulligan this obvious mulligan with 5 lands? Because you were scared in the moment. But it's like, that can be really interesting. So here, my analysis is, it's obviously not perfect because it doesn't have green mana, but I have Tormenting Voice. So 2 lands of Tormenting Voice. I'm going to see 2 fresh cards plus 2 for my draws. I'm getting to see 4 new cards before I need to play a 3rd land. I'm going to be in great shape to have a land. And also, I have Phylath. So when I have the best card of my deck in my hand, that's incentive to keep, because at this point, if I just draw 4 lands and one of them is green, I'm in great shape to win this game. So this just looks like a good hand. I have 3-drop. I can just pitch the Kite Sail or maybe an expensive removal spell. So the decision of what to pitch. So what did I pitch? I pitched the Kite Sail with the logic that I don't even have a creature to play yet, and because I have Phylath to win the game, that I don't really need the Kite Sail. I'm just trying to like really survive. These aggressive creatures are really almost just playing a defensive role here. So I pitched the Kite Sail. I think that makes sense. Though, you know, the Brushfire is pretty reasonable to just pitch because it's best on turn 2. At this point, I'd have to play a forest and then play it, and then that's not getting landfall. So it could have definitely made a case for the elemental there. So a pretty weak start. But if I can just hang in there, Phylath is just so good at stabilizing. So he has his Kite Sail. So yeah, so this is a game where I really regret. Like you see this Brushfire elemental doing nothing. Though that was actually probably a mistake. I don't know why it's going so fast here. I spellcraft the Baloth. Just kind of played out my hand. Nothing special. So I get to the Phylath. And then I think I die in the air. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, pretty straightforward. I actually lost this game because of the Kite Sail. This Brushfire elemental I never cast could have at least interacted, and maybe I could have pulled it out. And this Flying Trample would have been in trouble, but possible to stabilize. So how does it start? So perfect hand, obviously, just 2 lands. And I imagine I hold this Tormenting Voice. Yeah, I wanted to start being aggressive. And I have Kite Sail, so I can just get the clock going. Here, now that would have been a pretty obvious. Oh, I thought Tormenting Voice was an instant. So there's a mistake. I thought this was an instant. So I just didn't cast it. So what would I have discarded? What should I have discarded to it? So you can't go backwards on Magic Online replays. So in some ways, just recording your own, like on Arena, is even better because you can pause and go back. So I play the Survivor. So I guess I pitch the Barrage and then just keep the Kite Sail. I could even play Kite Sail there if I really wanted. I think I pitch Barrage, but maybe not. It's like a green-white deck. He's on the back foot. He's probably going to be able to trade up. Could pitch the Rider, but like it feels really bad to pitch a 4-drop. Actually, a really tough situation. Oh, I drew the Visionary. Okay, so yeah, I just have to pitch a 4-drop here. I do pitch the Rider, right? Kite Sail's probably just way too good versus green-white. Barrage is probably too. It has weak synergy together, but I can make the Barrage work. Pitching the Rider makes sense. I'd rather have a Visionary card advantage. Yeah, just pitch Rider. And you see Rider's poor here, whereas Visionary trades well versus the Brute. Not against that. So Rider looks good here, though. So Rider is actually good. Barrage is amazing here, right? Oh, that was interesting. I made a bad attack. He snapped off a perfect block of my greedy attack. I just didn't. Oh, this is a good one. I remember this. I was like, oops, like that's gonna cost me the game. It doesn't, but actually it ended up being pretty punishing if I recall. Just throwing away a 2/2. Basically, I threw away a 2/2 because I thought my barrage could blow out his blocks, but he just made the block that played around it. I was impressed. Or just realized my play was just really bad. Maybe it was worse than I realized. So I want to see it again. So what happens this turn? He plays a 4/4. I attack my 4/4 and my 3/3 and my 2/2. Is that what happens? Do I send all of them? I can't send all of them. He double blocks to guarantee he can eat something. It's like so obvious. What do I? Oh, I suit this up and attack. And then I attack with everything. Thinking, okay, he's going to block a 4/4 with one of them, block a 2/2 with a 4/4. I'm going to kill his 4/4 that's on the 2/2. And the 4/4s are going to trade. And I'll be left with a 3/2 kite sail and a 2/2. But he just doesn't block this. Double blocks 2/2. So maybe he thinks I have like a +3/+3. So he like gets to play around various things there. So what I should have done is just attack with the 4/4 and suit this and attack. Just make like the most obvious attack that make it, because when I attack with a 2/2, he 100% knows I have something, so it just gives it away. And if I would have saw that play he could have made, I would have never attacked because he got to punish me. Because I got to use my removal, but then he just ate my thing, so I end up down there. If I just suit the 3/2 and attack with the 4, then it just looks like I want to trade with his brute. He probably blocks with the brute, then I can shoot the brute. But obviously this game looks good. Kite sail's awesome here, and I have here's a kite sail battle I was talking about. Perfect top deck, obviously, and that's when I knew I was gonna win. But he could have definitely stabilized there. But hot draw, then he pretty much has to trade there. And then Lagak finishes him off. Yeah, then trade here. Why did I play that? Oh, I kick it.
Nice.
Because it's lethal, 5/5. Yeah, that's a good play there. Could have Lagak and damaged him, but just making 5/5 is better. Lethal threat. Get tokens, and that's good. Yeah. This card's strong.
Can you hear me?
And then what happens game 3? I'm all. What did I maul?
Hey, Adam, can you hear me?
Two green lands. I wish. It's really annoying. It's actually just better to record, isn't it? 2 green lands and stuff that was too expensive. So stuff that's too expensive, then I get to keep. Get deposit here. Put back the barrage. With the logic, I just don't need it. These lands might come in handy to get to the Stomper or Phylath. And if I get flooded, I can voice away the land. But like being on the draw, that barrage is just worse. And that's a heck of a threat. That thing. Yeah, do I just get eaten alive this game? That's what it looks like. Yeah, I think I just get eaten alive, or do I stabilize? Oh, right. Ardent Protector. He just ate me alive this game. It's really brutal. See the opener. Perfect opener. So how do I start? I think this is a game where maybe I could have used this Shambler more efficiently. Not more efficiently, but more aggressively pumping it. It's like pumping, pumping, pumping. There's one game where like I think I could have been pumping more, and that maybe would have won the game. So could have attacked with this and offered a trade. I should have done that, right? I definitely should have attacked with both, and then if he wants to trade this, I'm fine paying mana. I do with that turn at least. So I really missed the damage. I'm just so far ahead here. Takes a bunch of damage. He really couldn't attack with the bailout there. Easy win there. This opener. All right, this one is good. He lands the spells. Here, where I have a bunch of mana, I probably want to hold this recovery as long as I can. Although I have Stomper to bounce it, so there's really not too bad to just play this as a land and get it later. In fact, I wonder if I should have done that. Even protecting it from discard as a land in play, like, could have been interesting there. So anyways, I need to go back. Some decisions here. Okay, so sync with the discard here. It's the early discard, yeah. So what do I pitch? Looks like I jump to the Stomper. Probably Stomper and Survivor. Honestly, in retrospect, I'm thinking like the Brush Fire and the Survivor. Next turn, I should just play Scythe Cat and then the Recovery as a land. That's like what makes the most sense to me here. Is, I mean, I probably want to keep land Stomper Cat. I could play like either I play at this point. I want to play the cat and just get rid of the elemental, and Survivor is kind of not good either. So I think I just pitched elemental Survivor is what I should have done. This is interesting. But I pitch Survivor Stomper, keep the elemental. I just don't like that. That doesn't make any sense because I want to be really aggressive, but that seems like the worst strategy here. So I hold the land, then use it next turn. I guess that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. I don't use recovery there. I hold off. I guess I want to see if I want to get Stomper. I guess none of these are good to play next turn. I could play the elemental, but worked out. But and there you go. Another good hand. Anytime you get both colors, that's why I like to split my mana bases evenly when I can, and build decks that are evenly split. Usually, you just go by the good cards, and build the mana to suit. But like sometimes you may want to, even if your deck has like more red than green, still just play an even amount, because really it comes down to having both colors in the open hand a lot of times. And like there's not too many games where you're operating off one color. Now if your deck can just operate off one color because it has so many of one color, then that could be an advantage, and you might not need to play the full even split. I believe this is a game where I think the Shambler I could have been more aggressive, maybe? We'll see. There's one game where I missed a pump at some point. No, this game I'm using it well. I'm curving out and just pumping and pumping. And just, yeah, just aggro them real quick out. That was nice. Oh, this it looks like I'm mulliganed to oblivion here. Yeah, it's just unkeepable hands. Spellcraft too expensive. Just keep the card advantage and the rare. Good as a 5 can be. 2-drop means this ends up playing out really great. That predation was annoying. But drawing a threat's not bad, and he didn't have a threat. I think this is a game where I could have pumped. Where was the opportunity to pump? Because I could have pumped turn 2, but that's not, can't be correct. I pump here. I pump here. Oh, I think that turn. I think I saw him having that rebirth. Like knew he was gonna have that. And I would have pumped there, then I could have got to a 6/6 to be able to handle these sooner. I guess he would have got tempo back with the rebirth eventually anyway, but maybe I would have been in a better spot. It looks like I probably still lose this game, huh? This is tough to beat. I don't know why it's suddenly so, I'm mulling so quickly, I just can't catch it. Yeah, I'm just making my decisions so quickly in game, I think, that the replay is really quick. Oh, okay, I think, so if I just use this middle button, I'm here trying to teach it, and I don't even know what I'm doing. This will allow for the easy to see the mulligans. This moves one step at a time. So here, I let it go. No red, a bunch of red cards. I do have the Phylacth and a 3-drop. This is almost keepable, huh? Looks like I sided in that Electromancer. So this is an obvious keep. And I guess I pitched the sale. When I need the lands for Phylacth, and if I want a champion, I probably want both of them. Yeah, I think I pitched the sale and then regret it. Maybe I should just pitch a champion, give up on having the synergy, and just accept it's a 2/3 that might get better later. All right, well, I guess maybe not. Kite sail is not good versus removal, but these bodies are. Okay, it worked. So I guess it worked out. Kite sail would have been awful. Oh, I hit with predation, but then yeah, I remember like I wondered if that was right. Maybe he should have just bit the bullet and got rid of Stomper and let me Phylath, because here I ended up stomping, returning this, getting back Phylath, so then I have Stomper and Phylath. I just end up a Stomper. He could have just Phylath would have been slower, but I mean 6-5 is a lot, so he lost value. He delayed Phylath, but he lost value, and I think he may have won the battle, but he lost the war. Because now I have a 6-5 to go with my Phylath, and it just works him over aggressively. I think Lagok did good work this game. Oh yeah, I draw removal, and that's just it. One game where Lagok was strong. That was match, right? Yeah. All right. So I play all 9 matches. All right. Easy keep. Curve out on him. Good draw. Not the best draw there, but maybe Phylath is the best draw all the time. Games aren't that interesting when you have Phylath and Stomper. I get like not too much nuance here, just power through them, power out. I mean, red-green aggro, not the most nuanced deck. Just smash. Smash, smash, smash. Ambusher was good. Late game, it hits hard. When it trades with their 5-drop, like you see why this is actually good. Fire breathing, underrated ability. The blue one that pumps with it's cheaper based on your team, your party. That one's just fantastic. So here, I have Broken Wings in after sideboard. Where did I see game 1? Oh, he had a Relic Vial. He had Haven. Yeah, he had all kinds of things. Kill the Roost here, and I think he plays another one. Oh, he blew me out with the Chilling Trap there. That's rough. Another one. I win this game. Yes, he just runs out of action. Power through him. Okay, we're board somewhat close. And yeah, he just, so yeah, it looks really bad after there, but then I have a hot draw, put an aggro, and what does he get? Yeah, he hit Royal, so he was in great shape, but wow, yeah, it's a pretty good game. I'm able to keep pressure on, and he has Barons, which is nasty. Trade. I'm glad to trade the Barons there, and he doesn't have a Wizard. And then I draw a perfect recovery to just get him. So yeah, I've really powered through him. Not too many interesting decisions other than just keep attacking. Keep attacking, make him have it. After that spoils, wow. All right. Perfect end. What do I pitch to voice? A land. Oh. Still a land. So I pitched the champion. Yes, on the because I could have played a 3-drop there. I milled the champion. Never mind. I pitch a land spellcraft, milled the champion. Okay, and then voice a land away. All right, yeah, it makes sense. Then he plays this relic golem, which does nothing, and I just kill him. If I recall. Just pressure, pressure. Kite Sail just doing massive work here. Yeah, I think I beat his Phylath with this. Yeah, here's a game where we got was good. Yeah, I did a little bit of splash damage. I guess it wasn't that good. It didn't matter. It's good hand, no red. Or no, not a good hand, really. I'm on the draw. I have a decent curve. Really, I wonder if I should. Maybe this is why I lose this game. Yeah, I should probably mull. I really need red mana. Oof. Yeah, no wonder I lose. Yeah, look, so at the time I didn't really realize. Maybe I probably, I'm sure I did when I have 6 forests and all red cards, but yeah, look at that. I kept the hand, like, nope, obviously not. No wonder I lose. GG. So, all right, there's a major punt of the tournament. I think I lose this round. I don't remember. Let's see what happens. Well, that looked like a decent hand. What was that? Whoops. It looked like it was all red. Okay, it's all red. I guess I don't want the same thing to happen. But you see, this game, I actually have a 2-drop, a 4-drop, and a 5-drop. I can actually play Magic for the most part. This one's actually much more capable than the last one, where I only had a 2-drop acceleration into nothing. Here, I have a very reasonable curve, and if I do get lucky and hit a forest, I'm just going to crush my opponent with a near perfect draw. So a lot of value in curving out for a red green aggro deck. I let it go. What did I just put back? Sorry about all these restarts. That's how it goes. I literally did it again. Okay. All right. I put back a Stomper. Yeah, I don't need 2 6-drops when I have Phylath. Keep the Phylath and let's go. Let's play ball. And I want the Barrage because it pairs so well with the Elemental. I'm pushing it on the ground. Although you could say I'm playing a Phylath game, so I'm more defensive. I don't need the Barrage, but I don't need the other 6-drop either. Although they do pair well together because it returns land for this. So there's some argument saying, okay, if I hit 6, then at least I'll hit 7, 8. I guess Barrage ends up being fantastic. And he's just dead. Don't need Stomper in this game. Yeah. The Exploration is good, but he didn't really hit anything. All right. So I'm doing good up to that point. So I'm 4-1. Do I just get cooked this game? Perfect hand. Not perfect. Some kind of awkward interaction here. I'm on the draw with Barrage, and actually red-black's not the best color for Broken Wings, so it's not an ideal hand. Yeah, he's smashing me right now. Yeah, look at him aggroing and tricking. It's crushed. Didn't hit a land. Would that hurt? Could have won this game maybe if I could land. And then obviously I didn't win the match if I lost. If the match is only 2 games. So what happens here? Okay, good hands. Let's play the 2-drop and voice. It seems like I always draw them together, and I always have the option of pitching the survivor. And like there could be hands where maybe that's better to just get rid of the 2-drop to go for the higher power stuff. But it's nice to develop the board, and also especially in this matchup where I just got aggroed out. And the voice gets better, kind of better the longer you. If we had such a good speed, did I start thinking or something? After me up. Teasing me from game one, I don't know. So I lose this game despite Phylath. I just never draw land, huh? He burns me out. Second blood. Jeez. Did he top deck on me? Yeah. Oh, he ripped the Hellion. Okay, well, I guess I still probably, even if he doesn't rip that, he's still not really dead. I guess he is. If he draws a land there, I guess he is dead. If I draw land, he's definitely dead. So yeah, that was rough. I didn't see him sing any of this. All right. Well, this is a process. It's going through, seeing where you cost yourself games. What a beauty here. Having the 2 gold cards, I guess, in your hand makes it look really good, and the mana to cast them. Nice. Pretty good. His 6 drop is overpowering my 3 and 4s. Just push through. Yeah, Kite Sail does good work this game. Phylath. Yeah, right. So here's where you see the value of Kite Sail chumping. I end up just chumping him out. Flying chumps. It's pretty cool. What happened in game 2? What was that? What was that mall? I don't know, but I can't keep that. Oh, that was the 7. Okay, so I'm all this 6. Get rid of the spellcraft, I suppose. Yeah, I get rid of spellcraft a lot. It's not efficient removal. It's not really a great card. Seems like it's always the best top deck ever when you draw it, and you have a board and spend their turn removing their thing. It's usually pretty good. Does a couple damage, but it definitely does not feel bad to just get rid of from the opener. There's no mana to cast it, no creatures to push through. It's just, that's not when it's good. I play the construct. He showed his disciple, so yeah, just push through. Yep. Oh, I F6 through my turn. Maybe that's why I lost. I forgot about that. I end up just like clicking through. Just, oh, and then it cost me to the max. I was so mad because then he subtle strikes this Scythe Cat and I didn't put a counter on, right? It just ends up being an absolute nightmare scenario. I think at this point I'm already knocked out. So it doesn't. Yeah, I already have my second loss at this point, so it's playing for prize and pride. But yeah, and then I end up losing. Whereas if I would have had a massive cat, I think I easily win. Yeah, it ends up, I think, kind of close. No, okay. But I think I get game 3. Pretty sure. No, I have 3 losses. Maybe not. It's kind of painful if that cost me the match. So, oh yeah, this is like not a best keep. Maybe I small here. It has a decent curve, but 5 lands. I end up getting lucky, as you see. Drawing spells. Spellcraft, perfect timing every time. Like, they're so good. Do I just draw something hot, or is this a game that is this a long one that I lose? I don't know why I didn't attack there. Did I just give up 4 damage? Was I playing around something that we just didn't have, and I cost myself 4 damage? Oh no. I guess I probably lose this game. Oh no. I think maybe I lose this match because of that misclick. I think I do. That sucks. Unless I time him out, I don't think I get timed out. Oh, then I guess I do time him out. I win with that Cliffhaven. I think. Yeah, he hits me with the mind drains. I guess I think that kite sell. Yeah, and Farlath. I guess I win. Phew. Good game though. Look at this. 12-13. So I must lose one of these last 2. Let's check them out. Good opponent here. When I played against some Legacy, he's got, I think this is a Legacy, yeah, Legacy Championship. So I pitched Broken Wings, I assume, here. Just get rid of that Broken Wings, the heck out of here. I just hold off. Why? It's red-black, Broken Wings. I don't know, seems bad. I guess he could have a flyer. Yeah, you definitely want to use the voice sooner so it filters you out. It ends up being okay, but I probably would have had a better curve if I would have played it. Could go back and see exactly what would have happened if I would have played it. Guess I win this one. Maybe not. Hot draw. Yes, here's a game where the Legok is good. So the Broken Wings would have been sickening. Does Legok really kill him? It's so funny. Oh, I hit the spellcraft. Get there. I'm curious. So what happens if I cast a voice and I draw those 2 cards sooner? Does it let me curve better? What do I draw the next 2 turns? Would have informed my discard as well. So I would have seen I would have got rid of Broken Wings and had 2 more cards. So I guess I pitched Barrage Wings. Instead, I would have pitched I would have had Brush Fire this turn as well. I would have had the next 2 cards. So I'd probably still play Brush Fire this turn. We'll see what I end up drawing. So I would have had the Scorch Rider and the next card. So here I play the Visionary either way. And then I have this. So I would have had that. I guess I would have had the next card. I would have had the Construct this turn. I could have cast. Could have cast a 4/4 this turn instead of the 3/2, and maybe that would have lined up better against his. Yeah. So that's what would have happened. Oh, maybe dealt an extra damage because it wasn't a huge deal. He must get me this match. So I keep Broken Wings because he does have that nasty rare. Maybe it's not worth keeping. Yeah, you know, if this Broken Wings was something else earlier in the game, yeah, probably not, but maybe that would have changed something. Game 3, what happens? So that game I just got smashed. This one looks like it could easily, you know, have turned into a win. What went wrong? So that makes sense. You pump and then brush fire, yeah, and pump. Yeah, this is all great. I probably should have. Oh no, I want to pump on his turn so I can block. Okay. Yeah, get aggro. I'm winning the race. Do I win this? Maybe I just win this game. Okay, I win the match. I see. So I lose the last round. I guess I get smashed the last round. I got them all this. Yeah. I guess I have them all that. Do I just keep a bad one? Oh, I just keep a trash hand. What? I must have been a long day and was over it. Then I hit anyway. I was like, okay, file F, I'll just take a shot. This looks pretty good. All right, so is that. Especially with the null priest in your deck. I think he geysers me, like, yeah, I just get blown. I think he geysers me. Maybe it's the next game. I think I get geysered this tournament. Oh, Master of Wind, he just flies me. Where's a kite so when you need it? It was a close grind. Oh, it goes 3. It goes 3. Yeah, I just got to curve him out here. Crab's cool, but accelerating into big threats here. And he just doesn't. His creatures are just flimsy. So it ends up working out really well. I end up killing the Stinger so he can't death touch. Even though this 2/3 is really a better creature. At that point, I'm just like all in aggro. And I just push through damage. The kite sail ends up being huge. It ends up being quite the grind here. He really made a comeback. Null Priest is awesome. Lifelink. Gloom Hunter actually adds up. So this ends up being quite the grind, but he falls behind. Crushed. So really, this should probably be done slower, really looking through every single turn, seeing every single possible attack and block, and really analyze, look for missed damage, etc. Even how I'm like going back and reviewing things that I remember, that's actually kind of interesting to me. Lets you go deeper into things that at the moment maybe you don't have time to. If you don't have time, or maybe you just don't. So wow, he just Scourge sometimes sucks, but if you have a good aggressive start, it's so powerful. I just had no shot this game. He just like killed my stuff. My cards just don't seem to really matter. So that was my tournament. And that was about 45 minutes of going through those games. So I mean, 9 rounds, 45 minutes, that's 5 minutes a match. Like, that's not too much time, and we covered how many games? "24 games. It's like 2 minutes. It's like just a few minutes a game. You can see a lot. You can see those mulligans. You can go through some situations. You can take notes during all this. You can take screenshots of mulligans and show them to other people and say, hey, would you mulligan or would you keep? What would you do in this situation? What's the play here? Take screenshots, share them. You don't have to do the whole video. You can just look at your mulligans. You could go back to things you remember. You could even take screenshots while you're playing. It's like every hand, just screenshot your mulligans, and then afterwards go back through them. That's like a pretty easy, even quicker way. If you just screenshot every time, have a database of those. Don't even have to look at replays, or you can make those when you watch replays. Takeaway really is just replays are strong to do, and I'll be doing them a lot in MTG Insider. So thank you everyone who's here and everyone who's listening, and please reach out with any questions about this video and process, anything at all. I'm here for you. So with that, take care, and hope to catch you soon.